Hello.
Hey, this is Rob Burke, woke in
Different.
WuVille, Boston here tonight for another version of the continuing story as the bus ride continues. So today we visited the head of the Boston School Department over at 2300 Washington Street over in Dudley Square with my co-host, Catherine Vitale, who is running for Boston City Council at large. We learned an awful lot today. And so, Catherine, number one question is, to bus or not to bus?
Not to bus.
Why?
Because they cost too much money. Kids would be much safer and learning would be more efficient if they were going to neighborhood schools that are close to their home, where they can get to know their neighbors and other kids in their neighborhood, which is probably not what's happening now because they're bused halfway across the city to a completely different neighborhood and families don't know each other. And the environment.
Oh, the green.
Yeah. I mean, even these new electric buses that they just spent millions, over $7 million. I mean, they spent at least $7 million on 20 of these new electric buses are hybrid. They're not even fully electric. First of all, they're hybrid. And with no school buses, imagine how much that would kill traffic. There would hardly be any.
Okay. So what I don't understand is this. Why can't we have a local elementary school, have a local middle school, and a local high school all in the area? Go ahead.
They've now turned elementary schools into K through 8, most of them, I believe. So we don't even need a middle school. We just need an elementary school and a high school.
There are so many definitions
in every neighborhood.
There are so many definitions of these schools, high schools. I went through one of the maps, and every red dot represents a high school. I get about 14. Then there are about 6 or 7 other schools that are like high schools, but there's something else.
Yeah.
So those kids taking
charter schools?
There are so. Go ahead.
What is even a charter school? Is that just another kind of public school? Because pretty sure they have the same regulations.
I'm just looking at one thing here as we keep on chatting here. So we go over to let me see. I don't want. Let me see. Here we go. School. I'm looking at school listings, okay? Okay, so we have, I'm going to allow this here. Let me come up. We have in the legend, EEC/ELC, elementary school, number 2.
EEC/ELC is what? Early education and care.
That's daycare?
English learning.
Okay, then we have elementary school. Let me just bark them out, okay? K through 8 school, K through 12 school. Grades 6 and 7 to 12. We have a middle school, high school, and special population school.
Special population.
Listen. If I show you the map, it looks like.
Are you talking? You're talking about the map from the transportation office?
I'm looking at the Boston Public Schools, their map of how many schools they are and what they are. Okay, I'm looking at all these schools. I think it's about 120 schools. I thought it was much more, but it's 120 schools. There are so many different schools.
That's a lot of schools.
It's a lot of nonsense. It's a lot of schools. It's a lot of nonsense. Okay, so you're running for Boston City Council at large, and all these other people, these big government people, okay, they love this stuff. The question is anybody learning anything?
Doesn't seem like it.
What is the purpose of this confusion? Listen, think about as a parent, as you have kids, right? You got to get up early. You got to get to the bus. You got to get them on the bus. Now they're on the bus. Now they get off the bus. Now they go to school. Now they get back on the bus. Now they're driving on the bus, and they finally get off the bus. All they're doing is moving. They're not doing anything to Study. You can't think straight. This is what you call the din for little kids. You confuse them so much. And they give one of those book bags that weighs about 50 pounds, and now they can do nothing. I don't think they're I don't think they're learning anything.
No.
How do we know if they're learning something? Didn't they get rid of the tests and all the testing and
Yeah, I don't know.
the subject came up regarding the buses, and we've been trying to investigate the buses. Okay, there's somewhere around 720 of them. Mayor WuVille has now electrified them. And halfway they're hybrid. We saw some today, and with the little bit of logo on the top, it's like a little green wave. Okay, and we were just sitting
at
a
bird.
It's a bird. What's it called?
It's a green bird.
A green bird. Oh, okay.
So the green new bird.
The Green New Deal passed by the green new bird. Okay, so couldn't we use this money and do something else with it? If you didn't have to travel, the roads stink on purpose. They don't want you driving buses.
Maybe they could use the money for school supplies. So the teachers
they're always
and parents aren't footing the bill.
They're always how much out of pocket stuff you got to come up with?
Well, you get a list at the beginning of the school year, everything that you're supposed to provide for your child to bring to school. And in my experiences, those lists include like classroom things like cleaning supplies, Clorox wipes, hand sanitizer. Like parents are expected to pitch in on classroom cleaning supplies.
Why? Hey, did we ever find out what the actual cost for each student is at the Boston? Isn't it like $28,000 a year for each student? Isn't that what they're getting from the government?
From the federal government? Yeah. The last I saw, I think it was 2021, was like $17,000 for Massachusetts.
It's got to be much higher now. It's got to be.
Well, yeah, it has to be much higher now because they have much less students.
Yeah. Oh, wait a second. No, wait a second. No. We added 10,000 new students with our new arrivals. When Governor Moron Healy brought in the 5,000 new people, okay, it was a WBUR printed that there's 4 people in each family. So therefore, we're going to add probably like maybe 10 to 15,000 new students to go on to the other 20,000. So now we're up to 35,000.
But 10,000 statewide?
No, here.
Boston.
Oh, wait a second. Let me check that number. I'm not really sure because I know BUR wouldn't misdirect anything. They're not. I know where they're not. They're not in Wellesley. They're not in Cambridge. They're not down Martha's Vineyard. We know that.
Are they in Salem?
Kim Driscoll, I know, can take a couple.
Kim Driscoll?
She can take a couple.
Who wants us to take them into our own homes?
Now, does Kim have any children? Do you know?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know.
I wonder if they're public school, they're learning. There's Tim Moriarty. Tim, how you doing? Love you.
Kim Driscoll has a dog. I know that much because she came out to walk her dog while we were protesting in front of her house.
Okay, so buses. Didn't we look at? We had to go back, and we have a couple days to come up with these final numbers. If we get rid of all the buses and all the money that we have to spend, Metco, that was brought up by someone. Brought that up. Metco. We don't need Metco anymore. Mm-hmm. No more Metco. We don't need any going out to other towns to ship these students out of here.
Apparently in 1974, busing was started to integrate the schools. So we're integrated now.
Yes.
No more need for busing.
Listen, the population of Boston is changed. It's a majority city. Obviously, Whitey's only got about, I think, 29%. Black is higher. Latinos and Asian.
But who said that they wanted electric school buses, Rob?
Michelle. Woo!
These people are supposed to be working for us. Why? Why do they get away with doing whatever they want to do? And even if we do take a vote on something,
they're just going to ignore you.
They ignore it. Why? People go through all this effort to get questions on ballots, and then they ignore the results and do what they want anyway.
617-915-4009. Please, if you want to call in. Call in. Is the caller there? Hey, listen, like I said, we're getting going and we're doing great. We love it out here. We try to grab as much stuff. So this has been an ongoing conversation the last couple days. Learned an awful lot.
But listen, this is serious though. Who wants electric buses? What parents of Boston Public School children are asking for electric buses? Nobody asked you. Nobody said, let's spend $7 million of COVID money on school buses.
Hey,
why do they get to spend money on COVID money on school buses?
That's it, Catherine. Get wound up. I like it. Hey, listen, when we were in Dorchester, do you think all those buses were electric, or because when I went around the corner in the same logo.
But the $350,000 a bus?
Not their money. Not their money.
Our money.
God forbid if one goes on fire. Tim's looks like an old fireman.
Like,
Tim,
are you shitting me? People are sleeping on sidewalks.
Tim, how do
People are dying in tents on the street. People are living in squalor right out on the street in front of the police and emergency services. And we're spending $350,000 per bus?
That's a smart bus.
Per bus?
It's a smart bus. It makes you wicked smart. Didn't they tell you that?
Who wants this? I want to go walk around Boston. I want to go stand out in front of schools and survey parents. Like, do you care if the buses are electric or not? Do you think that $350,000? Do you think that $350,000 is well spent when we're spending it on a hybrid? And it's hybrid. It's not even fully electric. A hybrid school bus.
Okay, so
do parents even know how dangerous these things are?
As a Boston City Council candidate at large, Catherine, if you could save $125 million, what would you do? Okay, now we only have 30,000. Thanks, thank you.
30,000 what?
Students.
That's how many students there are?
Supposedly.
30,000 students.
For $125 million. What could you do do with that money? Think about it.
You could buy school supplies.
You could give every one of those students.
You could pay teachers. More.
Give every student $4 million.
I was at a fundraiser last week that teachers were throwing to raise money to buy supplies for their classrooms and for their students and for their students' families from a special needs school in South Boston. Why are teachers having a fundraiser to buy supplies for their students and for their students' families? And we're spending $350,000 per bus. Who told them that we were okay with them spending $7 million in COVID money on 20 school buses? Did you?
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No interrupting. I'm sorry, folks. I get a little excited. I'd like to interrogate her because this is what she's going to have to deal with going forward here.
And Mary Beth is right. They could fix the school HVAC systems. And like I said before, I would like to know how many students are actually enrolled, how many schools there are, what the capacities of each classrooms are. What did you say? We have 120 schools and 30,000 students.
Yes. Approximately. And so say 30,000 students and 5,000 being shipped out of Boston somewhere. So you're down. They're adding new arrivals because we can't find out what the real numbers are. Everybody says it's online. That's why we went today. We went to the Boston Public School and see if we could talk to somebody. But obviously, they didn't want to hear from anybody.
So if there's only 30,000 students, do you know how many schools that we don't need that we have? Or do you know how many schools that are wasted space? Like, do all schools have a swimming pool for kids to learn how to swim? Do all schools have an auditorium and a gym and a community center? I don't think so.
I'm going to send you.
We could probably close half the schools for renovations, condense all of the students into the other half, and then put them in their, permanent renovated schools the following year. And then the rest of them could just go be torn down and be something else.
I just sent you over the sprinkled map on your email.
The sprinkle map.
Yeah, this is all the schools.
Oh yeah, this is the map that's on the wall in the
red means high school. Red means high school. Did I send you the right one? Right? Boston Public Schools. Red means high school. Then the brown means high school. Then you have your elementary and look at how it's all confusion on purpose. I'm still waiting if anybody's learning.
No, but wait. It's Charlestown. Charlestown has the elementary K through 8 and
what happened at Charlestown High?
High school. What happened to Charlestown High? I don't know anything about Charlestown High.
I don't know anything about anything. Usually, there used to be a Charlestown High, wasn't there?
Well, they have a high school. It says on this map.
Oh, that's the brown. Yeah, there it is, Charlestown High School. That's the brown dot.
Yeah, because it's grades 6 or 7 through 12. So Charlestown's doing it right. But wait, because Charlestown, the housing development is tripling in size. That's where all of that's where everybody's gonna go. Mark my words. Mark my words.
Densification.
That's where everybody's going. First stop, Charlestown.
See, this is not a coincidence. This is all lined up. This is all set up. They knew they're going to bring on new arrivals in. They had to call the chaos. They get the buses. This is all a sham. No one's learning anything. They're in, what are they in, the transportation business or the education business?
They're in the elitist money laundering business.
Did you check out the lineup in the executive group? Did you check? You gotta check out the bios of these people. It looks like every mad scientist in the world is in this group.
Yeah, my middle school, I went to the Rogers Middle School in Hyde Park just for 6th grade before I went to Latin. And at the Rogers is now being turned into LGBTQ housing, which what?
Could you explain that to me, please?
What? They say they're trying to like water it down. What that means by saying it's LGBTQ friendly, but isn't all housing LGBTQ friendly?
Is that
equal housing opportunity? Like,
is that a new special accommodation?
It seems like they only want members of the LGBTQ community to live there.
So they discriminate.
Elder LGBTQ.
So
they're mean? Discriminating against non-LGBTQ people, because this is what happens now. Discrimination is okay as long as it's reversed.
Selective.
Yeah.
Selective is always good.
Where's the straight housing? Yeah. Where's the hetero-friendly housing? Oh,
what a hater.
God. Oh man.
Is that what you call a microaggression right
there? Yeah. So we have a lot of research to do and a lot of data to find on these school buses, because this is like, it's like every time we look at an issue, we find 32 other issues to go along with it. Everything is a rabbit hole. And then, so today I posted a clip on my Facebook when I was announcing that we were going live tonight, a clip of us at the bowling building today, because we couldn't talk to anybody who had any data. And they have a data department. They have a transportation department and they have a data department. We couldn't talk to anybody in those departments. The transportation department we were able to access, but obviously none of the 37 employees in there know anything. And the person who runs the department just happens to not be there. There was absolutely nobody in the building that could help us with any questions about school buses.
That was Mr. Rosengrad, the head of the transportation team.
Mr. Rosengrad, Daniel
Rosengrad.
Yeah, he wasn't there. Nobody was there that could answer any questions about school buses, but they could make a phone call to the Boston Public Schools public safety people, like the people that replaced the police, because like no police in Boston Public Schools anymore. So they made a call to them, like security team, to come and see what was going on with us. And then we find out from that guy that the dispatcher said that there were a couple protesters in the lobby, which we weren't protesting.
We were.
Why does everybody know who we are? Like,
the list is following. They're following. The Miss Feeney must have. I don't even think, by the way, Miss Feeney's in that building. Yeah. I think she's not in that building.
It's like,
Catherine, can you play the clip?
You can't talk to public officials. Yeah, I can try, sure. Yeah, it's like you can't talk to public officials at all. Like there's just a complete stone wall in front of you when you try to talk to these people when they know ahead of time that you're going to disagree with them. I'm looking for the clip right now, so. Rob.
I hear you.
Yeah, well, I can't see you, so.
Can you see me now?
No, I can't see you because I'm looking for the clip.
All right, Kate. So I'm looking for the police officer that was summoned to the riot in the hallway there with us. I'm looking at that right now, and 1 second here. It was like everything we expected: stonewall, accusations, security. And then when you ask them what the problem is, they can't explain anything.
The building manager coming over to talk to us as if he has anything to do with anything.
He was like yelling across that picture in that hall. The picture that was I think we put out the common area when you go in that building. How beautiful it is. This guy's like stuck over in the corner. No idea who he was, and he's yelling, "Don't talk to anybody." It's like,
yeah, just interjected himself into our conversation. Like, dude, you work for the property management company. Like, you have nothing to do with what's happening right now. What are you talking about?
Just. So we were there. We waited for like 20 minutes, and then we figured that's what would have happened, the whole process. Stall, no one's here. What do you want? Why are you here? Can we see something? No, you can't. That's restricted. Someone called us. Who called you? We don't know who called. Then we went through our regular stuff: your badge number, your identification. Are you a police officer? And that's funny. If the police came, they're the ones kicking the police out of these places, which is really funny. It's just crazy. So then we end up over Dorchester. You got it?
Hold on. I'm working on it.
Pulling it up. Let me know when you got it. So there you go. Is that it? I haven't seen it. So
Yeah, hold on.
good comment.
Almost here. Hold on.
Maintenance guy. Don't you have some
Mhm.
locks to change, guy? Okay. Okay. This is Mr. What's his name? Torres. He pops up out of nowhere. Okay. We've already taken on the
Julio
two.
Torres.
That's Aaron.
Sure. You know, you never have.
They just called me down here.
Who called you?
My office,
Who's that? Who called you?
my dispatch.
What's his name?
Huh?
Or his name?
What's his name?
I'd like to know. If someone's calling, I'd like to know.
And what did they say?
They just said there might be protesters down the hall. We'll just go check it out.
Wait a second now. That's funny. Who's protesting? I'm asking.
Well, I didn't see
Well,
that. That's why I'm just trying to inquire.
Well, we've got to clarify this. Protest is here. I came, introduced myself to this
Who
gentleman.
said anything about
Told
the
him what my
protest?
purpose was.
They said somebody you want to meet with the mayor or the superintendent.
No.
Nobody said anything about the mayor.
No, mayor's name never came up. So whoever told you, that's why I was interested. Who told you to come? Who?
It's my superior.
What's the name?
Who's your superior?
They had to tell you something. Who? We don't want to have the wrong information on something as simple as this.
So the superintendent's office was to call our office.
So Miss Feeney called?
I don't know who called. I can go check.
Yeah, I think you might, because I'd like to know when they.
All right, yeah. Just hold tight, okay?
Nobody is available to talk.
Oh, here comes the maintenance guy.
This is the building manager.
He's going to save us.
And we'll get back to you.
So
I'll try to run that up to.
So Mr. Torres just said that he was sent down here because somebody,
Who's Mr. Torres?
the security safety guy.
Yeah, he's with Boston Public Schools, they're with Boston Public Schools. I'm with UHM Properties, we manage the building, and I've been told by folks up in administration, nobody is available right now. And we'll go ahead and take your information and go from there. That's all we can do.
And the folks in administration are Boston Public Schools or
Yeah, just
no?
admin. But folks that you probably wanted to talk to are not here, they're at
Well,
professional developments, they're at
Who do we
seminars
want to
right now.
talk to? We don't even know who we want to talk
who are
to.
you trying
Well,
to?
We're just looking for some data.
all I can tell you is we'll get your information, we'll get to the superintendent's office and we'll go from there. And the superintendent's the highest, department in the central office.
Patricia Feeney.
She's an administrative assistant. And I talked to her, she said nobody's available.
I mean, we're looking for data on school buses. I don't even know that we're even looking for the superintendent. We didn't ask for the superintendent.
We wanted the information, we wanted some data on the budgeting. We were comparing and contrasting busing in 1974 with busing today.
And I know directors have changed for transportation, but we will take your information and get
No,
that.
I'm not gonna
to
do
everybody.
it, so you're in charge of a building, I'm in charge of.
No, I'm just saying, your contact information, we will get to the director of transportation, who's not on site right now.
Weird.
So what is the
That's
reason
weird.
we can't go past the second floor?
Because those are security areas. Just like the
Why?
basement where I'm at is
Is,
security area.
is there some royalty up there?
No, that's security area.
Why?
It's personnel. It's like any other building.
No, it's not. It's a public entity though.
For this level and the second floor level, like the welcome center, transportation. That's
Yeah, but-
public. You can go to those departments because that's public space. My area where I'm down in the basement, where my office is, in the 3rd to 6th.
Yeah. So this guy had no business even talking to us. I don't even know why.
You could,
Like
you
the
could be
property
walking.
manager. And I'm like,
walking-
oh, Mr. Torres. And he's like, oh, he's with BPS. I don't have anything to do with that. Right. You have nothing to do with BPS. But why are you talking to us about our wanting to speak to BPS?
You're walking down the street trying to park your car. This guy sticks his head out of a door and says, "Hey, you can't park there." Who is this guy? Who is he?
Yeah.
I was shocked. I said, "Come on over here. Who are you?" Injecting yourself. We call them the new nicknames. They're intruders. That's what we call them. They intrude into everything. It was
Yeah.
crazy. This is going on for like 45 minutes. and they're all huddling on the stairs, like cone heads. They're all.
Yeah, remember when the one woman came in and was like, "Oh, I got to talk to you," and then they both leave. Like, me and Rob just look at each other like,
what took you so long?
"Oh my goodness!" And then
So
he's like, "Oh, the mayor." They said that you wanted to talk to the mayor. I'm like, the mayor. Nobody said anything about the mayor. Why would we be coming to the school building to talk to the mayor? What are you talking about?
the purpose of me going there,
Like-
as I explained to the man with the mask on, the man with the mask was this. I was a person that was interested in looking at busing back in 1974 and seeing what the budget for busing was then, how many students, and compare and contrast to where we are today. That was the purpose of my being there. End of story. And it got like, Jesus, we should have expected that. After, at first glance, we thought these people looked normal.
I mean, we did.
But then
that's what to expect when walking into a government building.
Every time.
It's just like I want to always show people what it looks like, because I feel like most people are too busy working to keep a roof over their head to actually go and approach these government officials themselves, and they should know. I feel like if the majority of the people knew that this is what it's like when you try to speak to somebody in the government that works for the government, you get stonewalled like this. They don't want to speak to the public. They just want you to pay them. And then I learned today that the city of Boston has over 22. I mean, this is as of 2021. The city of Boston had over 22,000 employees, which with all of Michelle Wu's new nonsensical offices at City Hall, I'm sure we have way more than that now. But what?
Audit.
Over 22,000 employees work for the city of Boston, and their median income is 78,000.
Audit.
Why?
What do you?
Why does the local government need to have that many employees?
To show how efficient they are.
Why?
What do they do? What exactly do you do? The Kathleen, get the clip up of is it Mr. Torres that was the last person that we'll show that at the end. But so going down the road, we ended up going down to Dorchester, and there was the basically a hub where they have a lot of buses. And once again, we set up just to chat, have the cameras go over, and then another intruder comes over, asking us questions. Who are you? What are you doing? And the pat answer now is, we don't answer questions. Okay. It's why. What do you want? Why are you here? We're in a public street, bothering nobody, and this guy is coming over with the vest on. You all right, Catherine? You all right? You gonna lose it? If you go, let me know. Just you put the mute on.
Yeah. I know. People like, leave us alone.
Leave us alone. Folks, every day it's like this. And the funny thing is this. The most important thing I've learned in this is you can't get emotional with these people. No matter how, because they don't know anything. And they're trying to probe you like they have control of you and you should submit to their questions. No, we can't do that for any reason. Public places know the laws. But Catherine, hit the Torres there, the police officer, there's a clip that we'll show in a second or so. When he's leaving, and because Catherine said, I asked him, who called you? And he said he was dispatched. And then we go outside after we finish, wrapped up in there in Washington Street, and he jumped in his car and he takes off.
Yeah, I thought that when he said that he was dispatched down there, I thought he meant from like another area of the building. And then we go outside and see this man driving away.
Yeah, pop
like
that clip.
They had this man drive there to handle us.
I put the. Mr. Torres, I didn't know you drove down here. I didn't know you drove down. They told you to come down here. Oh my God. I feel sorry for you, sir. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Take care of yourself, will you? Alarmist. And another alarmist. Well, that was
Oh
Mr.
my God.
Torres. Mr. Torres.
It's so ridiculous. It really is.
Waste of time. Not really, but now we know. We have a,
No,
we have a.
no. It's never
Nope.
a waste of time
Let me correct myself.
to get on video how bad it is.
My point was, we went down there to get information, but obviously we now have a threshold of where we can begin to unwind this, whatever this cabal is down there. It's, I don't know, it's probably crazier than you'd ever think. You, who's it? What's that?
What? Why? Who
Was that a green
told
card?
them? Who told them to spend money on these things?
Was that a green car?
Like what? They just do whatever they want
It's so.
in order to expend the amount of $7 billion on 20 school buses. What?
Okay.
What?
So, Catherine, Boston City Councilor at large.
Duh.
No on busing. Yes on neighborhood schools.
No busing. Yes, neighborhood schools.
Arming. We talked about this today, and you caught me off.
Reverse the admissions change in the exam schools. And if you want more people to have access to exam schools, make more exam schools. Don't cheat people out of their spots.
Catherine, you threw me off today when I asked you about arming Boston police to go into the school. You said
and no police in schools. We don't need police in schools. That's
but we do. What you do like.
unnecessary. I want the teachers to be allowed to call police if they feel like they need to call them, for one. And I want the teachers to be armed.
Why not?
Right. If you arm your teachers, who's going to come in there shooting? Nobody.
That would have been hilarious if they called the Boston police on this when they're kicking the police out of all the school buildings. They have to call them. I mean, think about that. It's just terrible. It's just awful. So, folks, we'll get to continue this conversation down the road a little bit. And shame on Wu. Back to Chicago. Joe Rock's calling in. So, hey, it's been a long day. We've done a couple things today, but this is a story we should continue on. School still opens on September 7th. And I think we have time to maybe put a little audit in there and ask some questions. You got, what's this all about? But again, from your point of view, Catherine, running for office, I think this is a winner. Neighborhood schools, they work. All this other stuff is just nonsense. Waste of time.
Homeschool first, neighborhood schools second.
Yep. Why not? Why not? And maybe they can get some money back to you because they pay. I think it was like 28.
Imagine how much money that we could save. Like we could have people stop paying taxes. Like with the amount of money that we would save doing these things. Seriously.
You can't give these people. You can't give these people money.
People would be able to go out and get those jobs of all of the places that are hiring, because we could deplete a lot of these city jobs because they're absolutely unnecessary.
You could have families living in the city of Boston
start their own
again.
businesses and become independently wealthy and not have to worry about the government controlling them.
Do you want Michelle Wu to be your parent?
What?
Michelle wants to be your parent.
Michelle Wu is not a real person.
That
motherfucker is not real.
We're investigating Michelle. We're investigating if Michelle Wu's tea house in Chicago is actually real. If anybody's from Chicago listening eventually, please let us know. The teacup lady, Miss Teacup. I don't think it's real. I think the whole thing's a lie. I think the whole thing's just a lie. So we'll fight this
on tour to Chicago.
road trip.
Joe Rock hears you on WRK all the time.
Once a week.
Jeff. Rob in Hingham.
Oh,
Thank you for holding and welcome. Is that what he says?
Jeff. And then you can hear him, yell. And Kuno allows me to rant on there, okay? Sandy cuts me off all the time, but that's okay. I mean, once a week's good. But he lets me ramble on that show, and that's good. It's fun. So anyway, Jeff. Hey, so listen, we're going to button this up. This is we're just moving forward with this topic, and I think we can revisit this maybe next couple days and come back. And what are you working on, Catherine? What else is going on?
There's a lot going on. This is hectic. Okay, it is not easy to run your own campaign by yourself. And Rob, I know you know that already.
Octopus man.
Yeah, this is not easy. I'm
I
exhausted.
I lost weight, and someone says to me, "Oh, you're campaigning, huh?"
I've lost 12 pounds.
Bravo. Hey, so Catherine, we're gonna go on to the space there, Twitter space.
Twitter space now?
Yeah, we're gonna go with this.
The after show conversation.
Yeah, well, this is the recap. This is like the sizzle reel after the show. You got to decompress. You turn the lights out, put a fan on, and you talk about what happened to you today. It's unbelievable. This is so chaotic out there, and it's potholes. It's people yelling, screaming, can't answer a question. Everything sucks now in the city on purpose, and that's so unfortunate. And all these people are lost. They're lost, and they're in control. They're in control. What are you looking for? Is there bugs running ahead of it?
They're lost.
They're lost. Breathe deep. So, okay, folks, we're going to button this up. And like I said, the best way to do this, if you want to, you can call that number 617-915-4009. Leave a message. I'll forward it. I did have a question from someone, Kath. I think I forwarded to you before we go. Let me see. 1 second here. About something. Let me see. Hold on.
I have like 17 email accounts. I know what you're talking about too. I'm looking for it.
It was a thing. The house over in
the Shattuck.
Yeah, so I had a person who left me an email. I forwarded to Catherine regarding Chicago. I didn't even know what he's talking about with the little houses. What was that all about?
Oh, I do. We'll talk about it offline.
Okay, then. All right, then. Hey, so folks, we're going to sign off. This is Rob Burke, Wook and WuVille, Boston. Hey, folks, we have that logo. We're trying to design some gear so we can use that money to attack Michelle Wu. Just kidding.
Oh, why would you say that? What?
Just kidding. Just kidding, folks. Just kidding. We can't be taken off the air, but they'll come after us. So anyway.
No, because we're broke.
Yeah.
Because our government has bled us dry.
Excessive spending.
And so we're going to make some woke and WuVille merch. T-shirts,
lunch boxes, calendars, cookbooks. We have the cookbook. The holiday stuff. We'll do some bundling. So anyway, any good ideas, please jump in. Okay, I'm going to sign off, Catherine. Good to see you again for the 50th time today. And so many times. And I'll catch you on the Twitter space. Send me that link. Good night, folks. Thanks for bearing with us tonight. A little tired here. And
thank you for watching.
Day 29, held hostage.